Okay, so sa video na to, i-discuss pa rin natin yung part pa rin ng IFRS 15, Revenue from Contract with Customers. Pero ang pag-uusapan lang natin dito ay yung sa revenue recognition ng long-term construction contracts. So actually, ang gagawin natin dito, no, para mas maging detalyado yung discussion natin, gamitin pa rin natin no, kung ano yung pinag-usapan dun sa IAS 11, Construction Contracts, na actually, no, superseded na talaga itong standard na to. Pero kung isipin natin, yung mga concept pa rin naman talaga na pag in-apply natin yung 5-step model ng revenue recognition ng IFRS 15, nandun pa rin naman. Okay? Nandun tayo sa pagsasatisfy natin ng performance obligation bago tayo mag-recognize ng revenue. Kaya para mas makuha natin, no, siguro simulan muna natin dito, no, sa mga naging discussion ng IAS 11 construction contracts, tapos magbigay tayo ng sample problem na para mas makuha natin yung application ng IFRS 15 na kung tutusin, ganun din naman talaga, no? Okay? So para mas maging detalyado, inuna muna natin itong i-discuss, no, yung dati yung IAS 11, at after neto, i-discuss naman natin o magbigay ng sample para doon naman sa application ng IFRS 15, no, para sa construction contracts. Okay. So, umpisahan na natin, no, sa overview of IAS 11. IAS 11 construction contracts provides requirements on the allocation of contract revenue and contract cost to accounting periods in which construction work is performed. Contract revenues and expenses are recognized by reference to the stage of completion of contract activity, where the outcome of the construction contract can be estimated reliably. Otherwise, revenue is recognized only to the extent of recoverable contract cost incurred. So actually, no, pag sinabi kasing long-term construction contract, no, mga example nito, no, magko-construct tayo ng mga building. Okay? Mag-accept tayo ng isang project, no, construction project, at ang gagawin natin ay long-term, ay mga construction ng building na syempre, normally, ilang taon din tatagal yan. Sabihin natin, no, tatagal ng 3 taon yung construction ng building. Kaya, ang magiging tanong na paano tayo magre-recognize ng revenue doon. Dahil ngayon, sabihin na natin, contract signing pa lang, di ba? Tapos sa first year ng operation, first year ng construction, magkano pwede nating recognize na revenue para dyan. Kasi di ba, alam naman natin kapag meron tayong mga construction contract, may mga pag-uusapan tayo dyan ng mga contract price. No? For example, para mag-construct ng building na to, meron tayong 10 million pesos. Sa 10 million pesos na yan, paano natin i-recognize yan sa 3 taon? Sa year 1, magkano? Sa year 2, magkano? Sa year 3, magkano? Okay? Pwede kasi mag-recognize ng revenue ng year 1 pa lang, no? Ng year 2, ng year 3. At nakadepende nga yan, no? Base rin sa sinabi ng na IAS 11 ay nakabase yan doon sa magiging estimate natin, no, ng magiging outcome ng construction contract. Kapag meron tayong reliable estimate, no, doon sa magiging outcome ng construction contract, diyan natin gagamitin yung tinatawag natin na percentage of completion method. Parang pwede natin estimate yan, pwede tayong mag-recognize ng gross profit prior to completion na base doon sa mga na-perform na natin. Di ba? Na performance obligation nga kung apply natin IFRS 15. Dito kasi, ang performance obligation natin ay yung construction of the building, for example. So, ngayon, kung apply natin IFRS 15 dito, kung sa pagdating sa performance, yung pag-construct natin. At yung nagiging basis natin, no, para sabihin na meron tayong performance ay una, no, ilang percent na ba, no, natapos natin para sa construction ng building. Sabihin natin sa first year ng operation, nakaka 30% na tayo. So ibig sabihin, yung sa first year, meron na tayong, o entitled na tayo na i-recognize in 30%. O kung meron tayong reliable estimate sa second year, no, as of end of year 2, nakaka 70% na, yung additional 40%, yun ang i-recognize natin na profit for the second year. At sa third year, no, Hanggang doon lang kasi yung construction natin, yung remaining. Okay? Yan ang sinasabi natin kung meron tayong reliable estimate. Reliable estimate of the percentage of completion. Yun nga, yung 30%, 60%, estimate lang yan. Ngayon ang tanong, reliable ba yan o hindi? Kapag reliable ang estimate na yan, ang sabi no ng IAS 11, gumamit ka ng percentage of completion method. Pwedeng ibase yan doon sa estimate ng mga engineer o kaya pwedeng ibase no doon sa tinatawag na cost to cost method. Okay? Pag sinabing engineer's estimate so sa out of 100% no ngayon taon nakaka 30% ka na. Okay? Tapos as of end of year to nakaka 70% ka na. Yun ang engineer's estimate at pwede natin pagbasihan niya sa pag-recognize ng revenue. Pag wala yun nun, ang gagawin naman natin cost to cost method. So ibig sabihin kung na-estimate natin kung magkano yung magiging gross profit kasi sa ngayon alam natin contract price naka-fix na yan, no? Pwedeng magkaroon ng additional pero kadalasan fixed price contract yan. Okay? So pwede na kasi kagad natin ni-estimate, no? Actually ini-estimate talaga natin dito yung cost. So sa 10 million pesos na contract price, ang gagastusin natin dito ay 7.5 million. Ang estimated gross profit mo ay 2.5 million, di ba? Ngayon, yung estimated total cost na 7.5 million, yan ang magiging basis mo para i-allocate, no? Yung mga para malaman yung mga percentage per year, percentage of completion. Okay, ulitin ko lang, no? Kung for example, meron ka 7.5 million na in-estimate hanggang sa matapos yung construction. Tapos sa first year ng operation, nakaka 2.5 million ka na. So ibig sabihin, 2.5 million divided by 7.5 million, meron ka ng 33.33% na completion. Parang ganun lang, no? Ganun yung percentage of completion na based on the cost to cost. Okay? So yun na, so ulitin ko lang, kapag reliable yung estimate natin ng mga percentage of completion, gumamit ka ng percentage of completion method. Pag hindi yan reliable, yung isang method pa ay yung tinatawag na cost recovery or zero profit method. Yun kasi dahil wala kang reliable estimate, no, parang wala kang karapatan na mag-recognize ng profit, hindi revenue, ng profit hanggat hindi pa natatapos ang construction. Kasi hindi mo pa alam no, kung magkano talaga ang magiging cost mo hanggang sa dulo. Kaya para safe, yung magiging cost and revenue, no, magiging equal lang yan sa mga year prior to completion. Kaya wala kang i-recognize na profit prior to completion. Okay? So yung dalawa, percentage completion method and zero profit method. Balikan natin mamaya yung dalawang methods na yan. So ngayon, meron na tayong idea, no, about sa revenue recognition for long-term construction contracts. Objective of IAS 11 is to prescribe the accounting treatment of revenue and costs associated with construction contracts. What is a construction contract? A construction contract is a contract specifically negotiated for the construction of an asset or a group of interrelated assets, no? Under IAS 11, if a contract covers two or more assets, the construction of each asset should be accounted for separately. If separate proposals were submitted for each asset. Kasi magkakaibang mga contract yan. No? Magkakaibang proposal, kaya magkakaiba yung pag-a-account natin ng mga yan. Okay? Portions of the contract relating to each asset were negotiated separately, no? Basta nandiyan naman yung keyword natin, separate. And C, cost and revenues of each asset can be measured. Otherwise, the contract should be accounted for in its entirety, no? In its entirety, okay? What is included in the contract revenue and cost? Contract revenue should include the amount agreed in the initial contract, plus revenue from alternations in the original contract work, plus claims and incentive payments that A, are expected to be collected and B, that can be measured reliably. Contract cost should include costs that relate directly to the specific contract, plus costs that are directly attributable to the contractor's general contracting activity. to the extent that they can be reasonably allocated to the contract, plus such other costs that can be specifically charged to the customer under the terms of the contract. Okay, so ito yung sinasabi ko kanina, no? Methods of gross profit recognition for long-term construction contracts. So number 1, percentage of completion method. And number 2, zero profit method. Percentage of completion method, if the outcome of a construction contract can be estimated reliably, revenue and cost should be recognized in proportion to the stage of completion of contract activity. This is known as the percentage of completion method of accounting. Okay? So, ayan na. Guys, sabi ko kanina, kapag meron tayong reliable estimate, no, sa magiging outcome ng construction contract na yan, no, including the cost, no, gumamit tayo ng percentage of completion method. Kasi sa mga for example, kung meron tayong 3 years na construction contract, sa first year sa second year, talagang wala akong magagawa dyan kundi mag-estimate lang. Kaya pag-uusapan lang dyan ay kung reliable yung magiging estimate o hindi. Pag reliable, percentage of completion method. Pag hindi, zero profit method. So ayan, no? Under this method, gross profit is recognized at the end of each accounting period based on the percentage of completion. This is computed by dividing the total cost incurred to date by the total estimated cost. Zero profit method. If the outcome cannot be estimated reliably, no profit should be recognized. No? So, hindi ba ibig sabihin hanggang sa dulo walang recognition profit? Ha? Basta kailangan makuha mo muna kung magkano talagang actual cost natin hanggang sa dulo. At pag sigurado ka na meron talagang magiging profit para sa project na yan, doon ka mag-recognize ng profit. Na yun nga, sa dulo na, no, sa last year na ng construction. Instead, contract revenue should be recognized only to the extent that contract costs incurred are expected to be recoverable and contract costs should be expensed as incurred. Under this method, revenue is recognized each year in an amount exactly equal to cost incurred until reasonable estimates of the percentage of completion is available. The total gross profit on the project is recognized in the year of completion of the project. Okay? Doon lang sa year of completion lang kapag zero profit method. Anticipated loss on long-term construction projects. Okay? So, kung sakalin, no, sabihin na natin sa 3 years na yan, sa second year nagkaroon tayo ng anticipated loss. Yung magiging estimated total cost at completion natin ay in-expect natin na mag-exceed sa contract price. Yun ang tinatawag natin na anticipated loss. At ang sabi dyan, ito, an increase in total cost may result in the loss in the year the estimate was revised. When it is probable that total contract cost will exceed the total contract revenue, the expected loss must be recognized immediately. Okay? Yan ang sinasabi dyan na recognize immediately yan. Huwag nyo nang hatiin, no? Wala nang percentage dyan. Okay? 100% ng loss ay kailangan nyo nang i-recognize, no? Sa year na na-discover mo na meron ka ng anticipated loss. Pero dapat no, i-recognize mo kung magkano rin yung mga naging prior recognition natin para sa mga profit and losses. Okay? So for example, sa second year, nalaman mo meron kang magiging total gross na loss, no? Na 200,000, negative 200. Na parang sa at the end of construction, parang magiging negative 200,000 to. Pero sa first year, ay nakapag-recognize ka na ng profit na 50,000. So ibig sabihin, sa second year, kailangan mo nang mag-recognize ng negative 250 para ma-cover yung profit na 50,000 na na-recognize mo nung first year. Yun ang ibig sabihin nun. Okay? So, to illustrate, no, the revenue recognition for percentage of completion and zero profit method, no, gawan natin ng ito, na-solve natin itong first problem natin. Okay? So, ito yung mag-given dito, no? In 2019, DJ Builders Construction agreed to construct an apartment building at a price of 2 million. Ito yung contract price natin, 2 million. The information relating to the cost and billings for the contract is as follows. Okay, so 3 taon, yung construction project natin, 2019, 20, 21, cost incurred to date. Pag sinabing cost incurred to date, ito yung cumulative cost natin. Cumulative cost yang 560, 1.2, 1,570. Kaya kung mapansin nyo, pataas ng pataas yan. So, ibig sabihin, yung 560,000 na 2019, nandito na sa 1.2. At itong 1.2 ay nasa 1,570. Kaya kung gusto mo malaman kung magkano yung cost incurred per year, sa 2019, di ba, 560. Sa 2020, 1.2 less 560 equals 640,000. Sa 2021, 370. Yun ang mga cost incurred during the year. Okay? Estimated cost yet to be incurred. Ang iba ring tawag dito ay estimated cost to complete. To complete. Okay? So, ito yung remaining cost. As of end of 2019, meron pang 1,040,000. As of end of 2020, 400 na lang. Okay? And as of end of 2021, dahil kompleto na ngayong project, 0 na yan. Customer billings each year, 2019, 750, 2020, 560, 2021, 690. Ito hinighlight natin yung each year kasi minsan binibigay sa mga problem ay progress billings. Okay? So progress billings. Pag sinabing progress billings, ito ay cumulative din na billings. Yung total na binil na natin sa client mula umpisa, yun ang progress billings. Ang customer billings each year, syempre alam na natin yung taon-taon, kunwari 2019, 750, 2020, 560. So ibig sabihin nakaka 1,310,000 ka na as of 2020. Parang ganun lang. Tapos sa 2021, nakaka 2 million ka na. Yun ang billings. Okay? Collection of billings each year, 560, 2020, 640, 2021, 700,000. Dito kasi pwede ka magkaroon ng receivable. Ang receivable, so ibig sabihin, yung billings less collections lang naman yun. Ngayon, dito, kung tutusin, hindi pa natin mabasa yung mga requirements of problem, pero kapag gagamit ka, kunwari, reliable estimate, yung meron tayong assumption na meron tayong reliable estimate sa magiging outcome natin. Ang magiging method natin dito ay percentage of completion method. Ang gagawin nyo lang dyan ay kukumpitin yung mga percentage of completion per year. Yun ang magiging basis natin para masabi na meron na tayong performance ng obligation natin. Okay. Parang gato lang yung class, kunwari sa 2019. 2019, 560, tapos 1,040,000 nung estimated cost to complete natin as of 2019, end of 2019. Kaya meron kang 1.6 million na estimated total cost at completion. At completion. Yung isa to complete. At completion, ibig sabihin yun ang pinaka-total na yan. So 1.6 million ang estimated total cost at completion. So ibig sabihin, kung meron kang 1.6 million na estimated total cost at 560 pa lang ang na-incur mo, yan ang evidence na nakaka-35% ka pa lang ng completion, or ng performance ng obligation mo. Okay? So, yan. Tapos, sa 2020, dahil meron ka ng 1.2 million, tapos pag in-admin 400, di ba, 1.6. So, ibig sabihin, out of 1.6, nakaka 1.2 million ka na, or 75%. Iyan na ang stage or percentage of completion natin ng 2020. At dahil ng 2019, nakapag-recognize ka na ng 35%, parang iniisip natin dito na meron kang additional 40% para sa 2020. Okay? So, pakinote ng mga percentage, gagamitin natin mamaya. And 2021, dahil wala ka ng estimated cost yet to be incurred, zero na yan, wala ka nang kailangan pang trabahuhin, na-perform mo na lahat ng performance obligation mo. Kaya 100% na yan. At kung naka 75% ka as of end of 2020, yan yung cumulative, meron kang 25% na pinperform noong 2021. Okay? So sige, So 35%, 75%, and 100% tayo ng mga percentage of completion natin from 2019 to 2021. Ngayon, compute na natin yan, class, no? Kasi ang una ay using percentage of completion method. Bago natin sagutan yung mga yan, ito, pinakamaganda, lagay natin ng table yan. Okay? Ang mangyayari dyan ay maglalagay tayo ng table natin from 2019 to 2021. Okay, ano ba ilalagay natin dito? Kasi pinaka-object lang natin dito, di ba, revenue recognition. Kailangan malaman kung magkano ang i-recognize mo revenue. Siyempre, yung cost nandiyan na yan. Tapos, yung i-recognize mong gross profit per year. So, gamitin mo na natin yung percentage of completion method. Ang una yung gagawin dyan, okay, ay ilagay niyo muna yung mga contract price. No? Alam na natin contract price 2 million. Pero lagay muna natin format. Sa contract price, ilist natin ang estimated total cost. Yan ang estimated total cost at completion. Pag natapos ang project, magkano ini-estimate natin na magagastos natin? Anong composition yan? Una, yung cost incurred to date. Actual yan. Yung 560, 1.2, and 1,570. Tapos i-add ko lang yung estimated cost yet to be incurred or estimated cost to complete. At yan na nga magiging estimated total cost at completion. Pag niles mo ang estimated total cost at completion sa contract price, makukuha natin ng estimated gross profit. Pag meron ka na estimated gross profit, ang tanong, di ba, yan kasi ay total. Magkano ang i-recognize natin for 2019 lang, 2020 lang, no? Saka kay 2021 lang, no? So ang gagawin niyo diyan ay i-multiply niyo muna yan sa percentage of completion. Yan ang ginagamit natin to allocate the gross profit to each year, parang ganun, okay? So estimated gross profit times percentage of completion na kanina kinupitan natin yan, no? Lagi na lang natin mamaya sa baba yung solution. Meron tayo dyan 35%, 75%, and 100%. At pag minultiply mo na ang percentage of completion sa estimated gross profit, makukuha natin yung realized gross profit to date. Okay? So to date yan na, sabihin, cumulative yan, ang kailangan mo lang malaman ay for 2019, for 2020, at for 2021. At syempre, kapag cumulative yan, iles mo lang yung realized gross profit from prior years. So 2019, dahil itong first year ng construction, wala ka pang prior years. Magsisimula lang yan sa 2020 hanggang sa 2021. So yan, para makuha natin yung realized gross profit for the current year. Ilagay natin yung mga data dyan. Simulan natin sa 2019. Meron kang contract price na 2 million. Given na yan. Okay, so ano pa ba? Cost incurred to date ay 560. Tapos yung yet to be incurred or to complete 1,040,000 at ang total nila ay 1.6 million. Ilis mo yung 1.6 million from 2 million, makukuha ang 400,000 pesos na estimated gross profit. Multiplied by the percentage of completion, yung kaninang kinumpit natin na 35%. At makukuha natin ang realized gross profit to date na 140,000. At dahil first year ka pa lang, no, sa 2019, zero ang prior years mo. Kaya lahat ng 140 ay i-recognize natin ng 2019. Okay? Next, 2020. Same contract price, 2 million. Ang cost incurred to date natin dyan ay ito ng 1.2 million. Yet to be incurred, 400,000. At ang total ay 1.6 million pa rin. Meron tayong estimated gross profit na 400,000. Tapos yung kaninang kinumpit natin na 75% na percentage completion, i-multiply natin dyan. At meron tayong 300,000 na realized gross profit to date. No? Dahil cumulative yan, ang kailangan nyo lang malaman ay 2020. I-less nyo lang itong 140,000 na realized gross profit noong prior years. No? Okay, so magiging 160,000 ang sagot natin for 2020. 2021, same contract price, 2 million. Tapos i-less lang natin yung estimated cost, no, to completion ng composition ay cost incurred to date na 1,570,000. Add lang natin ang 0. Siyempre, tapos na yan, di ba? Kaya ang total, actual na yan. Actual na yan, no? Yung 1,570,000. At ang actual, total, no? Hindi na estimated gross profit yan sa dulo, no? 2021, puro actual na yan. Ang actual total gross profit mo ay 430. Tumaas pa. Kanina kasi 400 lang ang in-estimate natin. Ngayon, 430. Tapos, i-multiply natin sa, o dahil kompleto na yung project mo, 100% na ang percentage of completion. So, dapat, as of end of 2021, 430,000 ang ma-recognize natin na profit. Okay? So, yan, 430,000. Tapos, ilas natin yun, na-recognize natin noong prior years na 300. Kaya meron tayong 130,000 pesos for 2021. Okay? So, ayan, ganyan ang table natin pag percentage of completion method. At i-note lang natin muna to yung kaninang computation natin ng percentage of completion. Cost incurred to date divided by estimated total cost of completion. CITD, ito ang cost incurred to date plus estimated cost to complete. Yan ang magiging percentage of completion. Alam na natin yan, no? Yung 560 kanina, 1.2, saka 1,570, i-divide lang yan sa first year, 560 plus 1,040,000. Ito yun, 1,040,000. Sa second year, 1.2 plus 400. Sa third year, 1,570 plus 0. At yun yung 35, 75, saka 100%. Okay? So, sagutin na natin to, no, yung mga tanong sa problem natin. Number 1, in its December 31, 2019 balance sheet, DJ Builders would report. Kaya lang, ang mga tanong dito, ayan, sa mga choices kasi, ano itong mga current asset, current liability. Ganito kasi yan, no? Magkakaroon ka ng current asset or current liability. Lahat yung current, kasi within the normal operating cycle pa rin tayo dito. Kahit 3 years yan, lahat yan i-considered as current na based sa definition ng normal operating cycle. Okay? Kahit nalapas na 1 year yan, nandun pa rin tayo sa normal operating cycle ng construction company. So, lahat current asset or current liability. Ang tanong, kailan ka magkakaroon ng current asset, kailan ka magkakaroon ng current liability? Okay, ang gagawin nyo dito, pagkukumparehin nyo lang yung tinatawag na construction in progress account saka yung progress billings. Pag sinabing construction in progress, kung magbibase ka sa procedure, ito yung sum ng cost incurred to date, no? Saka RGP to date, realized gross profit to date. Gaya dyan, meron kang cost incurred to date as of 2019 na 560. Yung RGP to date ay ito yung 140. Okay? So, ang total, 700,000. Kung papansinin natin dito, parang ito lang yan eh. Ito, cost incurred to date. Parang cost of goods sold no, na-recognize na natin. RGP to date, o yan, gross profit. So, ibig sabihin, itong 700,000 dahil cost plus gross profit lang yan, ay yan ang revenue earned to date natin. Okay? Na-earn na natin na. So, ibig sabihin na perform na natin ang performance obligation natin dyan sa 700,000 na yan. Yan ang tinutukoy natin dyan. No? Yan ang ibig sabihin ng construction in progress. Trinabaho na natin yan. Okay? Meron na tayong karapatan na singilin yan. Kaya lang, ang sinisingil natin kay client, no, eto na, yung progress billings. For example, sa data natin, etong billings. 2019, 750. 2020, 750 plus 560. 2021, 750, 560, 690. Cumulative tayo, no? Yun ang progress. So, 2019, 750,000 na sinisingil natin kay client. So, ibig sabihin, tayo kasi, no, na-earn na natin ng 700. Pero binibill natin si client ng 750. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, meron tayo dito parang unearned revenue. Yun ang ibig sabihin dyan. Magkakaroon ka ng current liability kapag meron kang unearned revenue. At kailan ka magkakaroon ng unearned revenue? Kapag meron kang billings, no? Meron kang billings in excess of construction in progress. Ang construction in progress, yan ang na-earn mo na revenue. Ang billings, sinisingil mo lang si client dyan. So kung na-earn mo ay 700 pa lang, pero sinisingil mo na si client na 750, so ibig sabihin, meron ka ng unearned revenue na 50,000 dyan at i-report mo yan as current liability. Ito yun. Okay? Kaya ang sagot dyan ay B. Billings in excess of construction in progress ay current liability. Kapag lamang naman ng construction in progress sa billings, so ibig sabihin, for example, baliktad, 750 naman ng CIP. Tapos ang PB, progress billing, 700. Yung 50,000 ay CIP in excess of billings. Current asset yun. Kasi nga, na-earn mo na 750, pero 700 pa lang ang sinisingil mo. Kaya ayun, meron kang current asset. Dahil dito, lamang ang siningil mo, no, sinisingil mo kay client, kumpara doon sa na-earn mo na revenue, current liability yan, unearned revenue. No? Okay? So number 2, sa 2020 naman, ganun din ang magiging procedure natin. CIP as of December 31, 2020, cost incurred to date, 1.2 million. Ito na yun, 1.2 million. Okay? Add lang natin yung RGP to date. Ito yung RGP to date, 300. So, ibig sabihin, yung revenue recognized to date natin, 1.5 million. Na-earn na natin yan. Pero ang billings natin, as of December 31, 2020 ay, ito yung kanina, 750 plus 560. Okay? So, 1,310 na yan. Yan ang progress billings natin. 750 plus 560, 1,310,000. Pero kung tutusin, dahil na-earn mo na ay 1.5 million, tapos binil mo pa lang siya na 1,310,000, meron tayong CIP in excess of billings. Current asset yan na 190,000. Kaya ang sagot natin ay A. Current asset, no? Cost and profits. Cost and profits, itong CIP in excess of billings. Gross amount due from customers, 190. Okay? So, number 2 ay A. Number 3, ito, madali lang to kasi nga, actually, no, yung pa rin ang tanong natin kung meron ba tayong CIP in excess of billings or billings in excess of CIP. Ang sagot, no, dahil nasa end ka na ng construction project, tapos na yung construction project natin, wala na pag-uusapan dyan na mga current asset and current liability. Wala na kasi 100% complete na yung project. Okay? Di na kailangan computing yan kasi nga mako-close na. Mako-close na yung mga CIP na yan sa mga billings kasi wala nang ibibili. Wala na tayong itutuloy pa, di ba? Okay? So, ngayon, ang magiging sagot dyan ay 0, no? Since the project has already been completed. Okay? So, ayun. Okay na yan, no? Number 3 ay number 4. In its December 31 yearly income statement, the recognized revenue would be, ayan, gagamitan mo lang din naman ng cost, na percentage of completion yan. Magkano ba ang total revenue natin? Di ba ang total revenue natin, yung contract price na 2 million na, tandaan yan, yung 2 million. Tapos yung kaninang percentage of completion na 35, 75, saka 100. Yan ang gagamitin natin. Okay, so ganito mangyayari lang naman dyan. Contract price times percentage of completion, revenue recognized to date. Revenue recognized prior years, recognized revenue current year. Kasi tinatanong naman ay 2019, 2020, 2021. Ay cumulative kasi kapag basta mo lang minultiply ang contract price sa percentage of completion. Ganito, no? 2019, 2 million times 35% equals 700. Dahil wala pang prior years yan, 0. 700,000 ang sagot sa 2019. 2020, sa 2 million, nakaka-75% ka na or 1.5 million. Ilas mo lang na-recognize mo na dati, kaya meron kang 800,000 for 2020. 2021, 2 million, 100% na yan, kaya 2 million. Less mo lang yung 1.5 million dati. Kaya meron kang 500,000. Kaya ang sagot dyan ay A. Okay? So number 5, in its December 31 yearly income statement, the construction cost or cost incurred would be, o yan, magkano ang construction cost incurred natin for 2019, 2020, and 2021. Ang gagawin lang dyan ay, syempre, magbabase lang na lang naman tayo dito sa mga given na data. Yung cost incurred to date natin. Hindi mo kailangan yung yung estimated cost to complete. Okay? Yung actual cost ang kailangan natin dito. So, ang gagawin lang natin, ilista lang natin yung mga cost incurred to date. Yung kaninang sinabi na 560, tapos yung 560, 12, saka 1570. Dahil cumulative yan, ililes mo lang yung mga prior, mga kuha mo na yung for the year. Okay? So, cost incurred to date, less cost incurred to date prior years, tapos cost incurred to date, no, current year. So, 560 dahil wala pang prior years sa 2019, 0, kaya 560. 2020, 1.2 million na cost incurred to date, iles mo lang yung 560 no 2019 at 640. Okay? 2021, yung cost incurred to date natin na 1,570,000, iles mo lang yung 1.2, 370. So, ayan na, no? And number 6, actually, pwede mo yung isagot yung kaninang ginawa natin sa table kanina kasi ang tanong dito ay gross profit, no, for 2019, 2020, saka 2021. Ito yun. Yung 140, 160, 130. Okay? Pero pwede mo rin gamitin to. Ito, 700 less 560, 140. Tapos, 800 less 640, 160. 500 less 370, 130. Kaya yun, isagot B. Okay? Okay na yun, nasa number 6. Ngayon, sa number 7, using cost recovery method, yan ay ibang tawag lang sa zero profit approach. Ang cost recovery method. Yan pa rin ay tanong sa current asset or current liability. Billings lang yan sa CIP. So, computein natin. Magkano ang CIP natin as of December 31, 2019? Ano pa ulit ang CIP? Yung sum of cost incurred to date and RGP to date. Ngayon, dahil pag under cost recovery method, zero profit method, ang recognition natin ng profit ay sa last year pa. Kaya wala tayong RGP to date dyan. So, ibig sabihin, yung revenue na i-recognize mo taon-taon, no, prior to completion, ay equivalent lang sa cost. Okay? So, yan, wala tayong RGP to date. Kaya ang CIP ay 560. Pero meron na tayong billings, parang kanina, ang billings natin sa 2019 ay, ito yon yung 750. Okay, 750. Kunin natin yung 750 na yan. Kaya nangyari, mas mataas yung siningil natin kaysa doon sa nagtrabaho na natin na revenue. Na revenue. Kaya meron tayong 190,000 na billings in excess of CIP or current liability. Okay? Number 8, ganun pa rin. Pero December 31, 2020 naman, palagay na natin CIP as of December 31, 2020, ang cost incurred to date, yung 1.2 million na given na yan, RGP to date, dahil wala pa tayo sa year ng completion, 0, kaya ang revenue recognized to date, 1.2 million. No? Yan ang CIP as of December 31, 2020. At ang progress billings ay yung kanina pa rin, no? Gamitin lang natin to, yung 1,310,000. Okay? At yun na nga, meron tayong 110,000 na current liability pa rin. No? Number 9, nang sagot kasi nga completed na rin ang project. Okay? So, wala na yan. Wala na tayo sagot sa 9. No? 0 lang yan. And number 10, in its December 31 yearly income statement, the recognized revenue would be, ang gagawin nyo lang ay, kung magkano ang na-recognize po ng mga cost sa mga years prior to completion, ay yun din ang revenue. So, ganito yun, no? Yung 560 mo noong 2019, saka yung 640 noong 2020, yan ang revenue natin for 2019 and 2020. Okay? So, eto, 2019, yung cost incurred to date, no? Yung cost incurred noong 2019, 560. Yan ang revenue nun. Okay? Tapos sa 2020 naman, yung 1.2, less lang yung 560, 640. Tapos sa 2021, yung 2 million na contract price, iles mo yung revenue na na-recognize ng mga nakarang taon na 1.2 million. Okay, so sulat lang natin sa number 10. Using zero profit method, prior to year completion, revenues earned are always equal to the cost incurred to avoid recognition, no, of gross profit prior to completion. Okay? So, nilagay lang natin dito yung cost natin, di ba? Computin lang natin yung cost. Cost incurred to date, no? Less cost incurred to date, prior years, cost incurred to date, current year. 2019, 2020. So 560, 0, 560, yung kaninang kinumpitan natin yan, 640,000 naman sa 2020. 2021, yun is sinabi ko kanina, bale 2 million lang yan na contract price, i-less nyo lang ang 1.2 million na na-recognize na nung prior years. Kaya 800,000 sa number 10 sa 2021. Okay? Number 11, in December 31 yearly income statement, the construction cost incurred would be, yun pa rin yun, yung 560, saka 640. Pero sa 2021, ang gagawin nyo lang dyan ay yung actual cost, no? Ito yung actual cost. Balikan lang natin sa data. Okay? Actual cost ng 2021, cumulative, no? Na 1,570 tapos less 1.2. Kaya doon lalamang, di ba? Yung revenue sa 2021 kaysa sa cost. So, ayun ulitin ko lang sa 2019, 560. 2020, 640. No, 1.2 less 560. 2021, 1,570 less 1.2 or 370. Okay? Yun ang sa number 11. The answer will be the same as in percentage of completion method. Okay? Wala mo tayo binago. No? So number 12, gross profit naman, no? Gross profit sa number 12. Okay, so sa gross profit, ang gagawin lang natin dyan, sa 2019 and 2020, dahil same lang naman na na-recognize natin na revenue and cost, wala tayong gross profit. Kaya 0 ang 2019 saka 2020. Sa 2021 lang tayo magkakaroon ng gross profit. At paano ulit yon? Okay? So actually, ganito na lang din yun. Yung revenue na na-recognize mo sa 2021 na 800, ilas mo lang yung 370. At ayun na nga, meron kang 430,000. Okay? Basta 2019 and 2020, walang profit. Kasi nga, yung revenue ay equal lang doon sa cost. Sa 2021, nandun ka na, no? Sa recognition of gross profit. Nandiyan yung contract price na 2 million, ilas mo lang ang 1,570,000, no? Yung 1,570,000 na cost incurred to date. Ito yon yung 1,570. Okay? So 2 million lang yun, less 1,570, 430,000. Lahat yan ay sa 2021 i-recognize. Wala sa 2019, wala rin sa 2020. Okay? So ito ulit yun. Yan ang sagot. Number 12 ay letter B.